Welcome back in. LA wildfire survivors are calling on Governor Newsom to pressure California's insurance commissioner to resign. They made the announcement at a news conference this morning in Altadena. ABC 10's Becca Habegger has been following the state's home insurance crisis for years now. And Becca, you say that survivors are saying that insurance is collapsing really in two ways.
Yeah, they say tens of thousands of families statewide aren't able to find, renew, or afford coverage for their home. And those who do have coverage often find it's hard to access when they need it.
We are suffering, we are struggling, and we just want the chance to rebuild our lives and go home.
These LA wildfire survivors say they blame California Insurance Commissioner Ricardo Lara for delays in being made whole by their insurance company, for some, and for others, having their insurer drop them just months before the fire.
Families who did everything right and still lost everything.
They believe Lara puts the interest of insurance companies above everyday policyholders. They point to a new investigation from the New York Times, which says insurance companies exploited loopholes in the commissioner's regulatory reform called the Sustainable Insurance Strategy. As part of it, ABC 10 has reported on extensively, the commissioner gave insurance companies changes they've been wanting for years, but only if those companies agreed to write more policies in wildfire-stressed areas.
He announced the plan in 2023. He said when this is over, I'm going to give insurance companies rate hikes using these new tools, but I'll make them increase their policies. But the start date was whenever in 2025 or 2026 they get those rate increase requests approved. That means for the last 2 years, they've been busy dumping policyholders less than right, so they have a lower baseline to start from.
Plus, the Times investigation says many of the areas the Department of Insurance defines as wildfire distressed are not places CAL FIRE considers high risk. The article highlights Placer County, the entirety of which the Department of Insurance classifies as distressed. So anywhere insurers write there counts toward their required minimum in order to access the wanted reforms. But the Times points out over 70% of homes in Placer County are outside of the state's high fire hazard zones. A savvy insurer could meet it by zeroing in on Roseville, a city of about 160,000 residents whose boundaries barely graze CAL FIRE's high-risk zones. The Times found similar situations in the department's map throughout the state. A department official told the Times that insurers will probably gravitate toward those lower-risk homes, but he predicted that those opportunities will be sucked up very quickly, which will force companies into the more fire-risk areas. In a statement to ABC 10, the Department of Insurance says the regulations of the Sustainable Insurance Strategy underwent public scrutiny and hearings before going into effect. As for LA wildfire survivors, the most recent data update, July 31st, shows more than $20 billion in claims have been paid, with more than 92% of claims at least partially paid. And a department spokesperson says Lara used every tool available to ensure wildfire survivors receive all the benefits they are entitled to under current law. But the survivors say the last 10 months have been awful.
We're tired of fighting. Being denied benefits, being denied what you paid for is insane.
Again, survivors are calling on Governor Newsom to pressure Commissioner Lara to resign. So I reached out to the governor's office to ask if Lara still has his backing. I did not hear back by deadline. Alex.
All right, Becca, thank you for that update.